kind of looks like a Les Paul, but it's definitely not a Les Paul, because right on the headstock, it says Ibanez. What you're looking at is a 1974-1975 Ibanez 2405 custom agent. In the 70s, all kinds of companies, especially over in Japan, started mercilessly copying what Gibson had already been doing and making more affordable, overseas distributed versions of the Les Paul and other Gibson models. There's a whole era referred to as the lawsuit era as far as with Ibanez guitars, because in the mid-70s, Norlin, the company that was running Gibson at the time, tried to sue Elger, the parent company to Ibanez, distributing a lot of these blatant Gibson fakes. They didn't want them to make models that sounded similar to their Gibson counterparts and to knock it off with the headstocks that look exactly the same. So when you find lawsuit era Ibanez, if it didn't blatantly copy Gibson, it's not what they're referring to. This one has no serial number and it has an L5 flower pot inlay, not dissimilar to a Gibson L5 flower pot inlay. And Gibson did not like that. So if you get a version of this guitar, the 2405 custom agent, from after 1975, it will have like almost like a little alien guy going like this on the headstock versus the flower pot logo. Where Ibanez was making a lot of guitars that were complete rip-offs of Gibson, this was a guitar that is not a rip-off of Gibson at all. There's a lot of interesting features that are completely unique to this guitar. First and foremost, just the aesthetics. You have these crazy mother-of-pearl banjo-style inlays. And this one's broken, but you have a mandolin-style headstock, which is pretty rad. But of course, a lot of these, as you can see, the tips broke off because, you know, headstocks break off with Les Pauls. Well, on custom agents, the tip fell off of the mandolin-style headstock. You got this wacky pickguard, which, by the way, if you were ever to try and replace it, these things are super valuable because you can't find them. They only came on this guitar, and look at the ply, and it's got all kinds of topography to it. A very unique kind of thing going, and you have a multi-ply body, and you got this crazy mother-of-pearl kind of fake inlay underneath the tailpiece. These witch hat knobs that are super cool, a two-piece body, so as you can see. And the top on this one, some of them were maple and some of them were birch. I actually am leaning on, I believe that this one looks birchy to me. They had come stock with these Ibanez covers that were embossed. And if you remember any of the Gibsons from that time period, a lot of Gibson covers were embossed. So Ibanez down to the pickup covers were doing the same thing as Gibson. It was a crazy time, but this guitar is completely different in so many ways. In fact, these tuners are quite expensive if you try to replace them, and they're good. There's varying qualities of these overseas Japanese guitars. And this was supposed to be the premier quality of Ibanez because first off, it has a set neck and everything about it screams quality and style, and it's very unique. This is what made me love Ibanez. And these pickups, which again originally had covers, are the Super 70s. For those that don't know, they're supposed to be like PAF imitations. I love the Ibanez Super 70s pickups. I think that they're incredible sounding. If you go back and check out my 1962 Les Paul Custom, the lead pickup in it was the Super 70s against two original PAFs. And I gotta tell you, it sounded great in tandem, all three pickups on that Les Paul Custom. Clearly, this is its own thing. In this case, the 2405 Custom Agent, it's awesome. But for those that wonder like about the lawsuit era, did Gibson actually sue Ibanez the whole nine? They basically sent a cease and desist, and they never even ended up going to court. They signed some sort of thing that was to the effect of, we're not gonna copy your guitars like that anymore. There has become a huge secondary market for a lot of these guitars. Having this one, I can see why. The fretboard and the neck seems so slim, and I gotta say the radius on this is pretty flat. Look at these frets, guys. I mean, they're basically non-existent. These are as small and flat as you get. So it's 100% the same as any 70s fretless Wonder. I really wanna hear how this thing sounds. Sounds pretty good to me, man. balanced and full and meaty. Someone's gonna be like, what do you mean by meaty? Just that, meaty. This thing rocks. Okay, let's go to the middle. All right, let's do the rhythm. I love that, man. But for all those that said, hey man, do something on Ibanez, well, you caught your freaking Ibanez. Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?